All right, let's talk about one of the most common and maybe one of the most misunderstood phrases in the entire English language. You probably hear it, I don't know, a dozen times a day. But what if I told you that most of the time, the person asking doesn't actually want the real answer?
So, I'll ask you, how are you? No, seriously, take a second, think about your real, honest-to-goodness answer. You got it? Okay. Now, what if I told you that in a lot of situations, the person asking doesn't actually want to know any of that? And that is the big puzzle we're digging into today. In American English, the phrase, how are you, has become something more than just a simple question. It's kind of like a piece of a social code, you know? It's more of a ritual than a real request for information. To help us crack this code, let's step into a little fictional classroom. Our guides are going to be Peppi, a linguistics expert, and Alex, who's our cultural translator. They're teaching their students how to navigate all the subtle, tricky currents of American English. Peppi just hits the nail on the head here. The question isn't about being honest versus dishonest. It's just serving a totally different social purpose. It's less about asking, hey, what's your internal emotional state? And way more about asking, are we, acknowledging each other politely right now?
And this is where Alex, our cultural bridge, comes in. He makes it super clear. When someone asks, how are you, you don't just launch into a big, detailed report on your life. The expected answer is really more like a social password. A simple, I'm good or not bad. It just signals, everything's fine, no action required here.
So, if these phrases aren't about their literal meaning, what are they even for? Well, they kind of function as social armor, a politeness shield. They protect our personal space and just keep interactions running smoothly. It really reflects a cultural value on things like efficiency and maybe a little bit of emotional privacy. So here it is, the secret decoder ring for these interactions. How are you might sound like deep concern, but it really just means hello or I acknowledge you. I'm good isn't some big confident statement. It's just a signal that you're socially okay. And not bad? That's just code for everything is acceptable, let's move on. And this points to a huge difference in how various cultures handle emotion. As Peppi explains it, American English often hides feelings in the subtext, in the tone of your voice. But in her language, Arreqqanarra, emotion is literally built right into the grammar of the language itself, which is a fascinatingly different way to go about it. To put it really simply, one communication style is designed to protect personal space, to create a little buffer. The other is designed to share depth, to create a bridge. And look, it's not about which one is better, they just have totally different goals.
Okay, now that we've kind of decoded how are you, let's look at a few other phrases that are part of this whole casual, unspoken code. These are the tools we use for everyday social navigation.
Let's take what's up. It's phrased like a question, but it's not really asking anything. It's just a neutral greeting. It's a way to acknowledge someone's presence on equal footing, It's less formal than how are you, more familiar than hello. It's just a simple, quick way of saying, I see you. Then you've got no worries. This one acts like a tool for social repair. Imagine someone bumps into you and apologizes. When you say no worries, you're not actually talking about their anxiety level. You're sending a very clear signal. It's okay. Our social connection is intact. No harm done.
Now, while most of this casual code is about keeping things light, there is a critical exception. A tiny change to our original question completely flips its meaning. When you add the words feeling and today, you're actually inviting a real answer. It signals genuine concern and a real willingness to listen.
Yeah, this is not a casual greeting. As Peppi's lesson warns, asking this question is like getting handed a key to someone's emotional chamber. You only use it when you have a real foundation of trust and you are genuinely prepared for an honest, detailed answer. So, what's the point of learning all these unwritten rules? Is it just about fitting in? Absolutely not. The real goal isn't to lose yourself in the process, but to gain control over how you're understood. This path kind of illustrates that journey. It starts with just survival, right? Basic greetings. Then comes social interaction, understanding context, and eventually achieving fluency. But that final step, that's mastery, code switching. That's the amazing ability to consciously choose the exact right communication style for any given moment. Peppi's core lesson here is so powerful. True fluency isn't about just imitating someone else, it's about your intention. It's the ability to express exactly what you mean and to make sure your message is received clearly. And Alex just brings it all home with this brilliant piece of advice. The ultimate goal here is empowerment, not erasure. It's about gaining the tools to be understood without having to change who you are at your core.
It's about sounding like you, just with absolute clarity.
And that leaves us with a final thought. We've just unpacked the secret code behind one simple little phrase, but we all use these codes every single day. So think about your own communication. What are the unwritten rules that you follow without even realizing it? And more importantly, are those codes building bridges or are they building shields? It's a pretty fascinating thing to consider.